obvious too, which I honestly don't mind when it comes to Steve and Mario specifically. These are probably their best stages outside of like Battlefield for Mario, right?
I would agree, yeah.
Because, I mean, look, Onin is already getting so much material, like so many materials. We already have gold on lime, which is going to be super duper helpful later on, and that's a quick 35%, and there's the minecarts as well. This is already looking significantly better for the team, but as I'm saying that, I mean, we're watching Wizzy get juggled by Send over there.
Yeah, I feel like we're seeing it once again where like Wizzy's getting juggled in like almost 2v1 at this point, and then like Onin can't really help. You see Onin getting materials, which is almost always a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, cool, you got Diamond, but like your homie just took like 70. You know?
Yeah, we're going to need to see from Onin just a little bit more protection for Dark Wizzy, but there's a quick confirm from Sen, and Onin is already on a second stock.
Ooh, Wizzy kind of starting to gamble it all, and unfortunately getting team comboed, dying to Onin's down smash on the regrab, which I had to be a huge mistake here, but not enough to take that MuteAce stock either. Still alive at 119. I mean, blue team is just doing amazing so far.
Yeah, blue team is doing so good, applying so much pressure, and really doing a good job separating the two of them as well, knowing that if you can keep them separated, there's not really a lot that they can do. Because, you know, Steve, it's Steve, but those base stats aren't necessarily great. There's a quick up smash to secure a stock for the red team, but, I mean, you got to stop the bleeding at some point.
So what I just saw there I actually like a little bit, just putting a wall in between them to divide the stage off, not a terrible idea either, and as soon as Onin did it, obviously there was like a huge payoff there. But as far as Wizzy goes, still keeping up pretty solid, not super far out of this just yet. I think one thing that might be working against Wizzy is both Peach and Ness are really, really floaty, so it's not as easy for Mario to get like the big combos that you're used to seeing. Like it's a little bit more challenging. So again, makes those 1v1s even harder. But right now, you see Onin down to their last stock at the moment, but still fighting back here. Got Diamond got the Diamond, hasn't crafted it, now we have it.
Yep.
So hopefully this Diamond can turn some things around here. We're starting to see some nice combos, but not able to find the finisher with that F smash, unfortunately.
Something that's going to be, that I think is going to help a lot is actually switching focuses here, because I understand the appeal of Dark Wizzy going forward to start, to kind of take the root of the attacks there, so that Onin can then mine up all of these resources. But unfortunately, because like you mentioned, these characters are so floaty, it's actually better for Steve to get these combos compared to Mario.
I would fully agree with that too. By the way, speaking of, Sin only just now losing that first stock. I wanted to bring it up earlier. Sin was at 3 stocks for a full like 4 minutes just about, just barely died on the first one. So 4 stocks to 2, and both players, Onin over there, pretty high percent. So we're going to need to see a pretty big miracle here. That Cape could have done it. That could have been a huge turnaround for them, but just wasn't able to find the timing. And it's risky to mess with the 2 because PK Thunder 2 is just such a powerful tool to deal with.
Yeah, and something that's becoming a bigger problem as the time goes on here is that minecart coming out from Onin is actually doing a little bit more damage to their team, because I've watched Wizzy get caught by that a couple times, but oh my god, there goes Sen's second stock already.
Yeah, that's huge actually. Now we have ourselves even stocks here, but as soon as I say it, unfortunately for Onin, Sin is going to find that back air. Obviously his Ness back air is crazy strong. They definitely were in a decent position though. I mean, Rage and Diamond, you can make huge plays with that, but Wizzy once again forced to try to find an answer to the 2v1, and the F tilt more than enough to handle that. Even if it hadn't outright killed, I think that was out of Mario's jump, so yeah, they're going to be up 2 games.
Yeah, unfortunately, that jump, just not enough resources to make it back, and we're going to need to see a really big switch up in gameplay from Onin and Dark Wizzy, because right now the current game plan is not working particularly well, but I see a Kalos counter pick here coming out from the red team, so I'm curious to see how this works out for them.
So going to Kalos, I mean, it does give you a lot more space. Yeah. And I do think they're getting ping-ponged a lot, so I totally understand it from that angle. So maybe it'll help a little bit, and Minecart can, I guess, travel further there. Yeah. So there's that. And I'm pretty sure Steve's materials that he's going to get are going to be better here on Kalos as well.
Yeah,
so
there are a few.
That's probably the main thing.
There's a section there that is iron, that is an iron surface. There we go. Couldn't find the word. But is an iron surface, so we are going to see iron tools, which are going to do a little bit more damage compared to those wood ones they were using earlier. And they're continuing with the... ooh, I like that. I was going to say that they're continuing with that original strategy, but it's working a lot better here because there's so much more room for the two of them to kind of play with.
All right, MuteAce almost getting his shield broken there. All right, we finally see the red team take the first stock, only at 50% with the minecart. Like you said, there is going to be way, way more iron to mess with here, so that's hugely important. And Wizzy, finally for the first time in the set, finding those corners, which you really need. And Sim,
oh my god. Oh,
dying.
yeah. Because once you land on the blocks and the blocks break, you're still in special fall.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's super niche, but it happens every once in a while. I'll see it happen to like Aegis.
That's horrible if you're a Sin fan. Down to his last stock here. Got some big plays to make. And even right now, getting forced off stage, kind of risky. I mean, we saw that stock gone at 1%, so got to avoid that area at all costs here. Sin finding his way back, though. MuteAce going to do some good coverage, find that forward air to take that stock back. But red team is in a fantastic position.
Yeah, and I really, really like the flood coming out from Dark Wizzy pushing Sen off the stage. And unfortunately, I believe Dark Wizzy did lose a stock, unfortunately, to the minecart. But Dark, I mean, you're dead, MuteAce. I'm sorry.
I mean, this whole match was just such a comedy of errors for them. Sin, once again, fighting for his life, trying to find that ledge. Somehow, through everything, still does it. I've never seen anybody work hard to recover. And the diamond F smash out of the back throw. Crazy plays from red team. Yeah. Mute just going to drop her off the stage, be like, look, that match wasn't even worth it. Everybody gets one. It's fine.
1 stock to 4. There's just nothing you can do about that, unfortunately. Sometimes you just got to hang it up as red team is able to take a game finally and in a dominant fashion.
So I assume we're never seeing Kalos again for the rest of the set.
No, definitely
that's probably
not.
done forever. Like, Ness's recovery already isn't great, but wow, it just looked 100 times worse there. So
yeah,
that's definitely off the table. That was insane.
Wow, that was crazy. I mean, Send and MuteAce were able to take those other 2 games not extremely dominantly like that, the way Wizzy and Onin just were, and we're going to small battlefield here, and something that's actually going to be important to this on this stage as well is that on PS2 we're not getting those block edge guards. I don't know if you noticed, but due to the way that the block grid is, Steve can't place blocks directly underneath the lip of PS2. It just doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't let him place it there. So when we're on stages like this, he is able to actually do that. So Onin's going to have a lot better time exploiting these recoveries that can be kind of linear.
All right, still seeing some team combos here, even both one on, one off the stage, so great stuff. You can tell that Mute and Sin are just still looking for every opportunity to rack up as much damage as possible. Meanwhile, less than 30 seconds in, Onin's already got the first diamond ready, so things starting to look a little bit brighter here for the red team. We did finally start seeing some team combos come out from their side last game, in addition to all the edge guarding shenanigans, so definitely looks like they've come alive, and Mute gonna recover high, doesn't want to take any chances dealing with that ledge, probably ever again.
Yeah, and I really like what Onin did there with the minecart to cover the PK rocket that Sen was going for. It pushed MuteAce out of the way so that he couldn't be saved, you know? So I really like the awareness coming out from Onin there as we're just keeping it moving back and forth here, seeing who can take another stock, and that is another stock for the red team.
Yeah, huge difference maker so far, starting in games 3 and 4. The minecarts from the first 2 games really just weren't giving Onin that much leverage. Yep. If anything, they were keeping Dark Wizzy in trouble instead of getting them out, but now they're working out way, way better. We've seen 2 stocks taken from them this game alone, so definitely looks like some things have been figured out about where to place those minecarts. Red team still has a pretty decent lead here, but got to be careful not to get 2v1 because that deficit can be made up in 2 seconds.
Yeah, especially with characters like Peach. I mean, it's going to be really quick. Love the quick jab coming out from Onin to stop that down smash edge guard coming out from Sen. Good stuff, but they're still having a hard time kind of getting their footing here as Sen and MuteAce just continue moving.
All right, Sin finding that upstage. That's going to give us stocks even here. Wizzy at relatively high percent, but so is MuteAce. One thing that's interesting now is, of course, now that we're back on on SBF rather than when we're on Kalos, the ladders are going to be even more viable here because those side platforms are so good for Mario, finding those early kills with like Dare and up B. But as I say it, 2 stocks flying there. Onin got 1 more in the tuck, but it definitely looks like we're in a good position to get to game 5.
Yeah, this is looking really good. If you're a fan of the red team, they're in a really solid position. Onin still has 2 of their stocks, does have gold online, is really close to another diamond as well. So, I mean, we're in a really good position, was able to craft up a little bit more, and I like keeping Sen off of Dark Wizzy here, not allowing Sen to save MuteAce at all.
Yeah, I think that's huge, what you just pointed out, keeping Send away, and also preventing Sin from getting those huge combos, because even just a neutral air back towards MuteAce can lead to so much. But you're right, they definitely kept them really separated this game. Using the PK Fire to kind of break up that scramble on the ground was really smart. Minecart gonna hit Dark Wizzy and put them in kind of a tough spot. Barely able to make it back, but Onin has to be really careful because Dark Wizzy is really, really close to losing that last stock.
Yeah, we got to be a little bit more careful with those minecarts, but fantastic forward smash coming out, and that is, I mean, hey, it's not necessarily out of the question when it comes to these, but I mean, it's not looking great, and there's a footstool down there out of shield. Good stuff to Red Team taking a second game and giving us a game 5.
Yes, and also, this was a very hard-fought game 5 because games 1 and 2 were like really, really far in Mute and Sin's favor. So, of course, game 3 was full of shenanigans, obviously, but even with that accounted for, they made some really, really good adaptations so far. So, this is definitely anybody's game at this point. I have no idea who's going to end up taking our winners finals here, but I'm just happy to be a part of the action here. Let's see who is going to be sitting pretty in Grands.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how this is going to go, and we'll see what we're able to do here. Like I said, like you said, that last game was definitely hard fought. So we're running it back to small battlefield. I don't necessarily know, we don't know their mans, but I'm not sure how I feel about it because those edge guards with the blocks are going to be really, really important.
They are. All right, Sin already off stage here. Able to air dodge back up. Obviously, Ness's air dodge is so massive, so not going to have to worry about any block shenanigans this time, especially at a tender like 1% like we saw in Game 3. But that aside, I think the slower pace match definitely works better for them, gives Onin more time to get materials and become, an even stronger character. So they're going to have to kind of stay in their face without necessarily overextending.
Yeah. And I really like, Onin has been doing such a good job these last couple of games, saving Dark Wizzy from the Ascend edge guards. We saw a call out with a jab. We saw just now a call out with a back air. I'm really, really liking Onin's awareness to save their partner here because that's going to be really, really important.
Yeah, and Mario's not a character you have to normally babysit too bad, but when it comes to players of these calibers, you really, really have to be cognizant about your partner's recovery, especially since, Mario's recovery isn't, terrible, but it's definitely, lackluster.
Yeah, and I love the forward throw F-smash combination there from the two of them, and a quick block edge guard to take care of Sen's other stock. Really like how Red Team is answering this game.
Yeah, and I feel like Sin is doing a good job of trying to recover from as many off angles as you can with Ness, but even with that said, it's still just a very limited recovery, and Onin's gotten really, really good about figuring out exactly where to put the blocks to put Sin in as much danger as possible.
But, I mean, Blue Team is not going down without a fight here. They're just fighting tooth and nail right now to keep the pressure on the two of them, because these are two characters in general where when you put a lot of pressure on them, it can be very hard for them to actually get out. So there's another back air, and this is going to be a big combo, but good stuff to MuteAce, able to keep... No, never mind. Never mind. That is not going to save you, and I believe that's just the stock for Sen.
Just one forward air. And speaking of forward airs, here's another one. The pickaxe broke right when Onin needed another one to finish that edge guard on Mute, and Sin fires back with a revenge down air. That was a massive play from the blue team to stay alive here, because this easily could have been a 2v1.
Yeah, so really good stuff. You're really, really lucky for that pickaxe break, because that could have been disastrous for them. But I mean, now Onin is on their last stock. Blue team is on their last stock collectively. So let's see what can actually happen here, because this is going to be really, really important. This next stock is really crucial.
Yeah, Wizzy still taking here. Gotta find a way off the ledge. Does a great job of avoiding fair, turnip, back air, everything that Peach could possibly throw at the sink there at the ledge. Wizzy finds a way out. Gotta be really careful on these people's shields. But unfortunately, back throw into the block. Mute wasn't ready to tech it, and it looks like Sin is not too much better position.
That was just an unfortunate place to be in. Just got caught at the wrong time. I believe if MuteAce actually detect that, Onin was too far away to actually get the F-smash confirmed. So it was just, just a little bit of an execution thing. But unfortunately, you're going to take it. You're not dead.
Not dead. Still alive here. One stock at 104 to a fresh Wizzy stock and a pretty high percent Onin stock here. Finding a way back to the stage with that PK Thunder 1. Flood going to be a huge problem. And back throw to F-smash. That just looks so consistent, so easy to hit. and for sure going to do it for the game there. So shout outs to Onin and Dark Wizzy. They made some great turnarounds there. Those first 2 games were so tough, but they really figured out what they needed to do. They really came alive with finding their team combos, and that is why they're going to be sitting in Grams.
Yeah, really good stuff coming out from that team. A hard-earned victory, a reverse 3-0 from the 2 of them. But, I mean, hey, we're shown there why the 2 of them are the top seed for the doubles bracket here.
Right.
I mean, the 2 of them are so consistent with doubles when it comes to it. Just fantastic showing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, great showing from both players. Like, really, really high-level doubles we got to see there. So, still excited to get to see Mute and Send again in Losers Finals. If you're just tuning into the stream, singles is a little bit pushed back because doubles runs long, because doubles, that's just how doubles works.
Doubles, yeah.
It's every tournament that's ever happened, basically. So we're going to be rocking out the top cut of doubles and then probably a little bit of singles pools, depending on how